Welcome back to Wrestling Renaissance. This is a run-in. My name is TJ Leah.
And my name is Cole Two Belts.
Got it all on display now.
I do.
Your confidence is growing. You're going to be keeping both of those. Yeah.
Oh, on our tier maker, you can go ahead and put me in the GOAT category.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Just laying the beatings down on me while I'm down. Okay, I got you. TJ No Belts.
That's right.
TJ No Belts continues. All right. Well, today, neither of the belts is on the line because what we are doing today is ranking every wrestling weapon.
That we could think of.
That we could think of, yeah. I don't think we've missed anything here. We did specifically exclude a few that we thought didn't quite make the cut. Such as Al Snow's mannequin head. Wasn't really ever used as a weapon per se. It was kind of more of a distraction or like just a weird oddity. And then you had also thrown out there, what about using other people as a weapon? And I was like, that's very situational, so maybe not good for this list. So this is just a crapload of objects that we're gonna rank. And what should be our criteria for this? Impact,
lethality.
Lethality. How good is it as a weapon? How good is it typically used?
The rarity.
Yeah. Some of the more common ones are maybe a little less interesting these days.
Very much.
One in particular. I think two in particular, actually. But I think those are good criteria to go by. And we're going to use our same scale we always do on this show. GOAT, amazing, great, good, mid, bad, and trash. So let's kick things off. And now these are in no particular order, I believe. They might be in alphabetical order, but we've got the 2x4. A 2x4. Standard 2x4.
I thought it was going to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan as the
himself,
weapon.
The weapon. Yes. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the first ever Royal Rumble winner. No, yeah, that standard 2x4. I'm not a big fan of it. Typically if it's there's two different versions of the 2x4, right? There's the real 2x4, which I don't like because you can't really smoke someone with it. You don't really get an impact out of it because it's a freaking piece of wood. That thing is, that's a thick piece of wood. That's not going to break. That's going to break someone. But then there's the gimmicked ones that snap when you hit someone with them. Those are cool. Those make a good sound and a good crack, and they look brutal.
Now, does this one include not barbed wire, the
spikes?
Yeah, the spike one.
No, there's a separate entry for the spikes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we called that one.
We'll get there to it.
Barbara. I think it's Barbara. No,
I don't remember.
I can't remember now. Is it just Spike?
I think it's just Spike.
Yeah, Barbara might be the 2x4 with the barbed wire wrapped around it, which I guess is another variant that we don't have on this list. That I guess we could include, but they're all pretty much the same, I would say.
I'd say mid.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was feeling, For the most part, the 2x4 is kind of lame, because it's usually, when we see it, it's usually the real 2x4.
Right.
And that's not a great idea. All right, next one up is the Cobra. Now, this one includes all animals. So this is, there's only two that I can ever recall being used in a match. And that is the Cobra, which, typically is Jake the Snake Roberts. And then dogs. We've seen dogs be used in matches. Specifically, the one I remember is Tori Wilson's dog, the little Chihuahua thing.
What about the Kennel from Hell match?
Is that
with
should
Big
we consider
Boss
that
Al Snow?
I think. Did we have that in the matches list?
I don't know.
I don't know if we did. I think maybe we lumped it in with like Lion's Den and stuff like that. I'm not sure. That was a terrible match, by the way.
Now since we're saying Cobra, does that include Santino Morella's Cobra?
No. That is a separate on the list. That is
Wow.
separate. That is on the list. Yeah, this is these are actual animal investment here, which I don't think has aged very well.
No.
It's kind of cruel, um, and it hasn't really been used all that much. And I don't think we'll ever see it again. To be honest with you,
For that
you
reason, I would put it in great.
because
You saw
the bite
the cobra bite, dig into Randy Savage's arm.
that was nasty. That was nasty.
That scared the bejesus out of me.
I can't believe they allowed that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But on the flip side though, you've got that little dog, and all Tori did was like rub its butt in Stacy's face or something like that.
I mean,
That's pretty bad. That's a real stink face.
a butt in Stacy's face. Okay.
A dog butt.
Oh well, whatever.
It's a dog. Yeah. Maybe let's go with. Can we go with good?
We'll go with good.
Let's go with good. Okay.
Put it at bottom of good.
There we go. It's at the bottom of good. All right. Next one is the announcers table. Announcers tables. I like them. They make a good crash when they break, and when they don't, it still kind of looks brutal.
Some of them are way too gimmick though.
Yeah, so I've definitely seen a few where that they just look like they fall apart.
Yeah,
you know,
just fall apart before the move's even done on it.
Yeah. Like poor Kurt Angle. Oof.
Poor Triple H's quad.
Yeah.
Got left on the table.
Got left on the table. Yeah. Yeah. I think overall though they're pretty. They make a good impact. You know, I would say another bad example though is the one with the airbags under it.
Oh, from Shane McMahon.
Yeah, they've done it a couple of times, and it never. It's always like, that's not quite impressive anymore. Let's leave that in the cutting room floor.
I say great though.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great. Absolutely.
Maybe even amazing.
Yeah, let's go with amazing.
All
we
right.
can always move it. I think that's a good first amazing. You know, it's a classic. It's a great classic. All right, the cast. Now I've lumped in a couple of things with the cast. So the first one you think of is the arm cast that Bob Orton used, but we've also got leg casts, and I'm including prosthetic legs in here as well, which has been used a couple of times, notably by Zach Gowen and Kevin Nash. Used it once. Yeah. So that's kind of the gist. There is
Montez Ford, a month or two ago.
Oh yeah, I must have missed that.
Yep. Then the tag match. It was on SmackDown, so yeah, you missed it.
Yeah, I think it was great when Bob Orton used it, and every other time someone's used it, I don't think it works.
Yeah.
He really lays in with it when he hits someone with that thing. I remember him hitting Taker with it at Mania in the Randy Orton's match, and he just walloped him with that cast.
I can't believe his arm never healed.
Yeah, man, what a
20-some years.
Sad. Yeah.
I say good.
Yeah, I'd say top of good for now.
All right.
Current top of good. All right, barbed wire. That's a tough one because there's gimmick barbed wire, which is stupid, and I hate it. And then there's real barbed wire, which is gross and dangerous. And so they both have their negatives, you know. When it's fake, it's like, neither one wins for me because it's like if you use fake barbed wire, it's usually pretty obvious, I find. Because the little nubs are like they're like
Sawed
1
off,
centimeter high, yeah. But then the real stuff is like, ooh, I don't know if I want to watch that, Get a dude's skin ripped off, So I don't know where I fall on this. It might be a little too devilish for me. What
All right.
are you thinking?
I mean, I know I'm thinking higher than you.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like it when they use it in specific ways. So like, because I feel like sometimes it has better. Because there's a lot of ways you can use barbed wire. We've seen it wrapped around items. We've seen it done in those like attached to those big plywood boards.
Yeah.
You know, the net that they did in AEW that one time, that was freaking crazy.
Yeah. Between Kenny and Moxley.
Yeah, with that's the suplex off the stage into the net, nuts. But then there's also some
The,
simpler ways. Oh,
the
what are you
barbed
saying?
wire, the ropes, replacing the ropes with barbed wire.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's
Yeah.
nasty. I didn't see the AEW one. Was it real barbed wire or was it fake gimmicked stuff? Because I know the one
I
that
don't know.
Foley did in Japan was pretty damn real.
Yeah. The one that Sabu and Terry Funk did in ECW was real.
Yeah. Honestly, one of my favorite and most effective, I think, ways that people have used it is when they unravel it and they like use it as like a whip onto their back.
Oh
Like
yeah. Yeah.
that just looks nasty. It's just like, oh God, you
Yeah.
know. But then there's the opposite of that where I hate it when they like wrap it around their knee and then knee someone in the face. I'm like, wouldn't that like hurt you too?
Yeah.
So it's got its ups and downs. Um, all said and done, I would probably put it at the top of good. I think that's where it kind of balances out for me.
Oh, okay.
That was a hesitant okay.
If that's as high as you're willing to go, yeah.
Where were you thinking?
Great.
You were thinking great.
Yeah, I'm thinking great.
I can do that. I can do
All
that.
right.
It's not because I was at the top of good. So
Okay.
what's our next one there? Baseball bat.
Baseball bat.
I'm not a fan. It's another one of those ones that doesn't have an impact sound, and it's just kind of like. And then sometimes people use it like the sledgehammer way, where they go.
Yeah, and they hit
Cover
people, cover it, and
Yeah.
then hit them with their hand. So
yeah. It's worse than the 2x4 because at least when people use the 2x4, they usually do like hit you on the back or something like that. Like you can see the impact. With a baseball bat, you don't typically see an impact. More often than not, someone will swing the bat and miss.
and if you really hit somebody with a baseball bat,
Oh
you're gonna break a rib or
they're
break
dead.
something.
And I can tell you by experience, I've been hit in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, mind you. But yeah, I think it's bad too. Police baton, famously used by Big Boss Man. It's another one that's kind of falls in the same category for me.
Better than a baseball bat, but I wouldn't really go any higher than mid.
Bottom of mid. I still think the 2x4 has more possibilities because you can gimmick it and break it.
Sure.
Whereas the baseball bat and the baton,
Top of mid works for me.
Oh, top. You mean bottom of mid?
Bottom mid, yeah.
All right, bowling ball. Very rare. Most utilized during the hardcore WWE era, WWF era, where they would like roll it into a spread eagle dude in the corner, which was funny.
Yeah, it's more of a comedy spot than it is a weapon per se.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you really hit someone with a bowling ball, they're out. That's a hard item.
Better than a bat, but still bad.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Because like you said, it's normally used in a nut shot way, and nut shots
That's
are kind of
pretty
fun.
much it. Yeah. All right, top of bad?
Yep.
All right. Brass knuckles. Famously used by Logan Paul, William Regal. It's just another item that doesn't have an impact sound, so it's just more of an idea than a real thing. That being said, though, I think Logan uses it very well. Regal used it okay.
I think Regal used it pretty good.
Yeah, more of a gimmick for Regal, I feel like. With Logan, he has such a good, good wallop. But is it the brass knuckles that makes it that way, or is it the move, like the actual movement of it? Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
See, with the brass knuckles, though, that's something you can hide. You hide it in the turnbuckle, you pull one out of your tights. The ref takes it from you. He turns around to give it to the person to the side, and then you go into the corner, get the one out that you have hidden, and then use that.
You bring up a good point. This is the most hiddenable item, and it's probably the one that people use most to
say that
sneak.
Again.
Hiddenable.
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 Not hideable, but hiddenable.
It's been a long day. I'm making up words.
That's a Canadian word.
Yeah, hiddenable. I don't know where to put this now because you've convinced me that it, because I never thought about that aspect of it. Maybe I'd say middle of good.
And there's different places you can hide it on you. Hide it in your boot. Hide it in the trunks.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously hide it in the turnbuckle.
Under the stairs.
Mm-hmm. But not if they're solid steel steps.
No, it has to be the ones that separate and lift them up.
Which is all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say just below the cast. I think the cast has.
Wow, I talked you up to there.
Where are you thinking?
You don't want to know.
Oh, were you in bad territory?
Oh, Lord, no. I'm way in the opposite direction.
Oh, you were way higher. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was way higher.
Okay.
I say better than the cast.
Okay, I'll go top of good.
Okay.
Top of good?
Yeah.
I don't think it's better than the barbed wire.
No.
Okay. Briefcase. This could be the Money in the Bank briefcase or any briefcase.
Does this include like a loaded purse?
I hadn't planned on it, but I suppose we could include both luggage. Although I don't really recall too many people using a loaded purse. The briefcase is obviously used all the time because of Money in the Bank.
Right.
So it's got an advantage there. I assume IRS probably used it.
He did.
It makes a good thud sound.
But it is a little weakened because they don't do directly
hitting in the head anymore.
Yeah, because they don't do headshots. Which would be the most, not necessarily ideal, but...
It's the most ideal to hit him in the head. No, I agree. It used to be better.
Yeah.
to be better.
It's the most thud-sounding
place
to hit somebody is on the head.
Yeah. Dong.
Yeah. Like Cena hitting Big Show at the top of the ladder when it popped off the
handle
buckle.
Broke.
Yeah.
Maybe just above the animals.
And good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Broom and or stick. Not kendo stick.
Trash. Yeah. I mean...
we can include a shovel in there too. Anything with a stick as a handle. Because I like the shovel. No, sledgehammer's separate, I think. Yeah, sledgehammer's separate. That's true. I do have it separate, but yeah, I would say broom, shovel, because they're all used the same way, right? Like they're all used with you step on it and it flings up. The most memorable one that I remember is at WrestleMania 18 with Maven and Goldust, and Goldust got the shovel out with Maven dangling over the apron, and or no, he was dangling over. Yeah, I think he was dangling over the apron or something, and Goldust put the shovel on the apron and stomped on it, and it went up into his chest and his throat.
Oh,
looked really nasty. Yeah, looked really good. That's really the only time I can remember it being used, though. It's not a common item by any stretch. We could also include Moppy in this one. Remember Moppy?
I remember Moppy.
There's a deep cut. Yeah, I don't know.
If we're including shovel, I'd rank it just above a bat. Because the shovel's the only one that has any value to me.
Yeah, the broom is...
Because the sound that it could make when you hit it with the business end of it.
I do remember in hardcore matches, some of the guys would use a broom and snap it over the back of somebody. Like the broom.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that part. I just recalled that for some reason, one of the headbangers, Headbanger Mosh, and who was the other guy?
Thrasher,
yeah. I remember him doing that one time. So it does make a sound if used properly. It's not great though, because it's not. Let's go top of bad. Because I think the snapping is kind of cool, and I think that's slightly better than the comedic spot of a bowling ball.
That's fine.
Right. What is this one? Oh, cattle prod.
Cattle prod.
Oh, can we just put that in trash right away?
Or taser.
Yeah, taser and cattle prod.
See, the taser is what stopped Goldberg's streak.
So stupid. Way to make him look... How do we make him still look powerful, but beat him? Let's use a fucking cattle prod. Boy, that'll make him look super strong.
Speaking of Goldberg, we might be talking about him
very soon.
Up. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe tonight.
That's what the streets are saying.
Maybe tonight. Yeah, cattle prod for me is trash.
Trash. Yeah.
You might as well just use a gun at this point. You know what I'm saying? Or like an actual taser, like a you know. Speaking of trash, the next one is chainsaw. Trash. It's been used by Chainsaw Charlie as a gimmick, but never actually used. And it's been used by Dean Ambrose, who brought it out and never actually used it. I hate it. Like you're gonna use a goddamn chainsaw. Like just commit murder on live television.
That's trash.
It's ludicrous. All right, okay, we got a classic here. Steel chair. I don't even know where to go with this because there's so many layers to a steel chair. Obviously, it was better back in the day when they did headshots because, damn, some of the most memorable steel chair moments are headshots. Do you remember the one from Jeff Hardy to Brock Lesnar's face?
Yes, I do.
Holy... I still occasionally watch that shot and I'm like, how is he alive? like his nose didn't even break. He just took it. It was crazy. And there's some brutal chair shots, man. The one to Eddie Guerrero by JBL at Judgment Day, where he bled like a sieve.
The one that JBL from Blue Meanie.
Yeah, that was nasty. No, I think it was Stevie Richards.
Yeah. It was Stevie, but it was a receipt that he gave because of Blue Meanie.
He got revenge for his buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Undertaker
Kennedy got about
Maven.
One. Yeah, oh god, yeah, on the outside of the ring now at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah, that was brutal. There's so many good chair shots to the head.
No.
But nowadays, though, they don't do chair shots to the head. They do chair shots to the back. And I feel like because the chair can only be used in that way, it's a little less impactful, no pun intended. Especially because it's like the second you see a chair, it's like whose back is getting smacked. You know what I'm saying? It feels like more of a beatdown weapon instead of a
Knockout weapon.
Knockout weapon, like an oh shit moment. It's just a beatdown now, you know. So it's so difficult because it's like, you know, in history, it's a GOAT, but they've kind of weakened it.
See, that's what I'm thinking. GOAT means the greatest of all time. That means we have to take in all time.
All time. Yeah, it can't just be when it was the best. It has to be also today, right? So I controversial thing to say here, but I would lower it 2 sections because of how different it is today. You know,
Wow.
I would put it at the top of great.
Oh my God, TJ.
It should be a GOAT, but it's just every time I see a chair now, I'm like, oh. Well, hold on. We are forgetting some things here. Do you remember Kevin Owens and the stacked ladder spot? Where he got shoved off the turnbuckle into a bunch of stacked ladders and it was like
the chairs.
That
chairs.
Was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Or like someone gets choke slammed into a set of chairs that are like that. That's kind of cool when they bend. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe amazing then. Brings it back up a little bit there.
For me, it's a GOAT. So
it's still a GOAT?
For me, it's still a GOAT because it's all time.
So you're looking at it backwards. I'm looking at it frontwards. So I'm looking at it as like it got worse over time, and you're thinking, well, back in the day it was amazing. So it's like it's so hard to. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. It's a GOAT. It's got to be. It's a chair.
Got to be
it's
all
a steel
GOAT.
Chair. Yeah, it's a chair. All right. Next up, championship belts. Championship belts. Yeah. I'm like top of mid.
Yeah.
I can see them hurting, you know, like they're not the lightest thing and the
I can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty heavy, right?
Does that mean I'm tag team champions? Does I have to?
Yeah, you're something. You're cool 2 belts.
That's right. That's why they call me cool 2 belts.
But yeah, they're pretty heavy. They're metal, and they're not like a flat surface. They're etched like crazy, which can cut you. I like them when they make them bleed. That sounds so dark.
Yeah,
when they don't make them bleed.
Downgraded the barbed wire because it's ick.
Well, it's different, right? Because like the chair and the title making someone bleed is like a surface scrape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas like a barbed wire can like rip your skin open, like it just, psh, you know, it's like, ugh. It's like that's not that. They don't need to go that far, you know. Wrestling's great, but yeah, I'd put it at top of mid. I'm not a big fan.
That works for me.
Okay. The cookie sheet. That's a classic. The cookie sheet makes an amazing sound effect.
Amazing sound.
So good. They don't use it anymore, though. I don't think I've seen it used, at least in WWE, in a long time. I think they still use it in AEW, though. It occasionally pops up.
With a plunder. Trash can. Yeah. See, just for the sound alone, I'd put it bottom of great.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a stupid weapon, but it's just so impactful. It's so hilarious when
it is.
You know, it's so good.
Because if you do it right, it's a single-use item.
Yeah, because it dents.
Because it dents and bends, and you just can't use it again.
Yeah, agreed. Cowbell.
Cowbell. That's right.
Cowbell. It depends. I've seen some cowbell shots that don't make a sound for some reason, and then other ones where they're like, "Dung," you know, then they make a really good sound.
If it's Dustin or Dusty Rhodes, it's amazing. If it's anybody else, it's mid.
So that would put it in like top of good, bottom of great.
With a cast.
Next to the cast?
Yeah, next to the cast.
Above or below the cast? I'd say above the cast.
Above. Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Crowbar. I think it goes right next to the bat. It's another one where it's just like it doesn't make a sound.
It's gonna break you.
Yeah, it's gonna kill you. He's away.
I'm here.
Is this the moment? Oh no.
No.
You're going to get a beer?
No, I already got one of those. My headset's beeping at me.
Oh, you gotta charge it.
Yeah.
Here he goes. Here he goes. He's doing the switch. He's switching. Now he's plugging in. Now he's good.
I'm good.
All right, crutches. Crutches. I like crutches. You know, they bend crutches. Too.
They bend.
Yeah. They make a decent sound. It's not the best sound in wrestling, but it's a decent sound, and they bend, and it makes sense that someone would use them. Makes sense that it would be at a wrestling event. Cookie sheet doesn't make any sense to me at a wrestling event, but you know.
I mean, you never know what they make in catering.
That's true.
They do have cookies in catering.
Touche. I would I'd put it at the bottom of great. I like crutches.
Works for me. Fun.
Cool. All right, so the next one is a little specific here. So it's a combination of things that you throw. So dirt, salt, powder, anything like that. They like goes and it kind of goes everywhere. You know, the most famous example, of course, is Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji
salt throw. Yeah. I think China threw some sort of powder in Sergeant Slaughter's eyes in a match once. You know, I've seen them throw sand and stuff. Like anything where they're throwing it to kind of blind someone. I think it looks cool.
It looks really cool. I think people use baby powder mainly for that, just for the effect that the baby powder has.
The dust effect and everything that goes around. Yeah. It's not used very often anymore.
No.
I like it right above. Yeah, I was gonna say I'd put it right below the briefcase.
All right.
Yeah.
Right above the animals. That's good.
Yeah. Duct tape. Not really used in WWE. More of an AEW thing. Occasionally used in WWE.
I used it last week in AEW.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
It does more damage when you rip it off.
Yeah.
Because that hurts.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta smart. That's waxing 101 right there. I don't know. I
mid or bad.
Yeah.
Very specific use.
Yeah.
It's not really used for damage. You normally use it as a way to incapacitate your opponent to use another weapon.
Yeah.
So it's like a gateway weapon.
It's a gateway weapon. I love it.
Yes, it's a gateway weapon. So I'd say it's bad.
Yeah, let's go right below the bowling ball.
All right. Okay. Now, if someone actually uses it, say someone like, I don't know, who's someone really hairy?
George the Animal Steel.
Viking Raiders. War Raiders.
Eric, yeah.
Right? Take some, slap it on his chest, and then just rip it off.
Oh.
Use it as a weapon like that, then you're talking good or great.
You know at some point John Moxley's just going to like stick it on someone's head and just rip it off one day. You know it's going to happen.
It's fine with me. Then I would rate it higher.
It's probably why he's bald. He's like, anyone would do that to me. So I can't have hair.
But he's got chest hair, so someone can do it on him like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Throw some ideas out there for the next hardcore match he's in. All right, fire extinguisher.
See,
multiple uses.
To me, that's kind of like a bowling ball.
It's comedic.
Yeah, it is kind of comedic.
They can use it as a weapon, though. They can go like, ding,
yeah,
you know. But you're doing the cover up thing that we talk about, where your hands kind of on it. I kind of like it better than the bowling ball because it's got the spray.
Yeah, it's very visual.
Amusing. Yeah, I'd put it up above the bowling ball. I don't know. Does it deserve to be higher than that?
I put it top of mid, honestly.
You're thinking top of mid?
Yeah, I like top of mid.
More than the belt, the fire extinguisher.
The sound of it going, the sight.
True.
The show of it. A small bonus, you can use the actual extinguisher as a weapon.
Okay, you sold me. So this one's glass, broken glass, like the shards.
Does it count for panes of glass? Like the picture?
Yeah, I couldn't find like a good picture of like the glass on the floor, so I just used this one. I know it was a pane of glass because this is from Revolution. I kind of wish I had made a pane of glass separate one. Let's do them separately, and just we'll have to imagine where the icon goes. So let's start with the shards of glass, which really have only been used in AEW recently, yeah, and it's usually Darby.
See, the best one in AEW, and I think the best way that I've ever seen it used, because it was done in ECW, was when they reverse tape their fist with a sticky on the outside and dip it in a bucket with the glass. And then you're punching.
I think they've done that in AEW as well.
Yeah.
I think Moxley did that.
It was the women that did it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is that we know it's sugar glass. It's not real glass, Jack Perry. The only time it's ever been real glass is on a car where they like
AEW.
Smash in AEW. The rest of the time it's sugar glass, which still can hurt you, but it's not lethal. Not that I want it to be real glass. I think that's pretty stupid.
But now even windshields isn't your typical type of glass.
That's true.
Glass.
It's tempered, right?
Yeah, it's tempered glass.
Yeah.
So we're going shards. Shards.
Yeah, shards first. It's a tough one, right? Because like, it does look brutal.
Mid.
Whoa! Wow. I mean, I was thinking somewhere in good.
Okay. I can be
persuaded.
Yep. I mean, you don't have to persuade me. I'm not thinking top of good or anything, but
no, I'm trying to figure out. I'd probably put it right below the briefcase.
Okay.
It causes blood, though. No, although nothing else on this list causes blood except for barbed wire, really.
Cowbell. Again, if it's Dusty or Dustin.
Yeah.
Depending who it is.
Is glass really worse than a cast? Can we put it right above the cast?
Okay.
Now I don't have a picture for the panes of glass, but where would we put a pane of glass? They don't use that a whole lot in WWE anymore. They used to use it all the time.
That include my favorite picture frame.
No, I'd say like specific. If it has glass in it, it's got a smash.
Yeah.
Like a glass pane.
Mid.
I'm thinking like throwing Raven. Remember when Raven got thrown through the glass at WrestleMania?
Oh yeah, through the windows and stuff.
Yeah, that's nasty. So you're thinking the pane of glass is actually worse than the shards? I was going to say the panes would be better because it makes a good sound.
Oh, that's
like
true.
Makes that good like smash, and you're just kind of it's so much more visual of just like a crashing through it. It's kind of rare.
I'll move it
Although
up.
it is specific though, because it's like 90% of the time it's not in the ring. Because it's kind of stupid that a pane of glass would just be sitting around. Maybe put it like right above it, because I think that they both have their negatives and positives.
Yeah, put it right above it.
Yeah.
Just imagine it's right.
I can't. There. Yeah, imagine it's right there. Okay, glass bottles. Glass bottles. They're usually the breakaway kind. Probably the most famous blunder that we've seen was Jericho hitting Punk with the breakaway whiskey bottle that broke before he hit him.
Yeah.
Remember that? He like squeezed it too hard and it disintegrated. Although they did some good broken beer bottle stuff over the heads, like with Bradshaw and Farouk back in the day. That was pretty good.
Beer money too in TNA.
Beer money, yeah, smash, yeah. Everyone knows they're super fake, though. Maven did an entire episode on weapons, and one of them was about glass bottles, and he took one and was like, smash, smash. He's like they don't hurt. But it is a good visual and a good sound.
Yeah, but you got to take it away, or you got to take away from it because it's so fake.
Yeah, it's very fake. Yeah,
mid.
Because if it was real, that would hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried to hit something with a beer bottle, but they don't break very easily.
No, they don't.
It takes some power.
That's why I switched to cans.
They crunch better.
They crunch better, yes.
Yeah, I'd say right below the title, maybe. In mid.
Yep, that works for me.
Ooh, we have a classic coming up. The guitar. Obviously gimmicked. Because if you hit someone with a real guitar, that would hurt. But the visual of a guitar exploding when you smoke them with it is pretty cool.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Or Honky Tonk Man.
That's what caused a whole lot of his problems was the guitar track from Jake was from Honky Tonk.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't Honky's fault. It was some idiot's fault that in what do they call that department?
Props.
Props department who gave him a real
gave him the real one instead of the gimmick.
I didn't know about that until just like the last year or two, and I watched it and I was like, oh my god, how is he alive? Holy shit. Like he broke like 2 vertebrae in his neck or something from it.
Yeah.
Nasty. How did he not sue the absolute shit out of WWF for that? I would have. Holy shit.
Speaking of suing, that's in the news today.
Oh yeah, AEW.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about that sometime.
Yeah. So guitars can be good and bad. It depends on how they're gimmicked. Because like, I remember when Kane smoked Honky Tonk Man with a guitar, you could tell it was like practically just air. Sometimes it breaks in such a way that just it falls apart. And it doesn't really have that explosion effect. And that looks terrible. It just looks like a paper mache kind of coming apart.
It's like a little wafer board.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett had a good fake guitar.
He put some kind of powder in his a lot too. So when he did it, that's how you got that explosion effect. Like
it was like dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those ones are better.
I mean, there's some iconic guitar shots.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking somewhere in. My brain keeps going back to the really bad guitar shots for some reason. I don't know why that is, but I've probably seen more bad shots than good shots, and that's why. Because I like the crutches a lot, man. I don't know. I feel like they might be too low. I like the crutches, but I think it deserves being great.
Okay, I think higher.
I was trying. You think higher?
Yeah, I mean, I think higher than the crutches.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah. Probably right below the barbed wire.
works for me.
Yeah. Handcuffs, probably right next to the tape. Basically the same.
Yeah, it's a gateway.
Yeah. And I think actually the handcuffs are slightly worse because there's some big dudes in wrestling. And I feel like that dinky little chain would be pretty easy for them to break if they really wanted to. You know?
And sometimes they do.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Whereas duct tape,
after
that
about
ain't going to
5
break.
minutes.
Yeah, just. Yeah, it's gonna come out. You know? But yeah, duct tape doesn't break for anybody, man. You can hang a car from duct tape. It's been proven. Mythbusters, watch it.
Used to love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, I'd say right below. I'd say right there.
Okay.
Hockey stick, probably right above the broom. I'm thinking.
Very situational.
Yeah, it's very situational, and it's basically identical to the broom, except it doesn't have the bristles. So, I mean, I would say
you kind of have to take your Canadian bias out of it.
That's why I'm putting it in bad.
It goes below the broom.
Oh, the hockey stick. Well, I guess it's more likely that a broom would be under the ring than a hockey stick. I will agree with that. That's fair. That's fair. Now, this doesn't make any sense. Kendo stick. Why are they under the ring?
Exactly.
However, they make amazing sounds, and they are amazing weapons. I think I mean, I would put kendo stick in amazing. I think it's such a good wrestling weapon. Great sound effect, great visual. It would make it into the GOAT if it made more sense why it's there.
There's no sense on why any are there.
No, makes zero sense whatsoever. It's a martial arts practice sword. Why is it in a wrestling event? Makes no sense. So yeah, I would put it right below the announcer table.
Now, the way they're made is really cool. You know how, like they're made in little in strips, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you hit somebody, they flatten out, and the little piece opens up, and so it pinches the skin.
Ooh. Is that why it leaves the mark on them all the time?
That's why it leaves a mark like that. Yeah. So
I'm assuming that's on purpose to confirm that you've got a hit. Maybe.
I guess, I don't know.
Maybe that was the original design of it.
But I think
it's made of bamboo, right?
Yeah, like little thin sheets of bamboo. But I think they do that as a way to have less resistance when you're swinging it.
Yeah, because it's like hollow practically. It's like air can pass through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a good swing on that bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Tommy Dreamer accidentally hit Jericho in the face with it. Remember that?
Yeah.
At the Royal Rumble. And Jericho got all pissed off and hauled off and whacked him one in the center of his spine. He's like, fuck you. That was great. Yeah, I'd put it right below the announcer table. It's a classic.
Yep.
It's everything you want in a weapon. Now the next one, not so much.
Speaking of everything, everything and the kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be trash, right? What a stupid weapon.
What is a kitchen sink doing available for someone to use to take to the ring as a weapon? Now, I've never seen one hidden underneath the ring, but it's always been included in the trash can and the cart.
Trash can full of weapons. Yeah. As if an arena just has spare kitchen sinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has got to be trash. Top of trash, probably.
Now, unless it's a cast iron, because those sons of bitches are heavy.
God. Yeah, that would kill you.
But normally they're the real light stainless steel ones.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in trash, but I can't. It's not. Chainsaw's going to be the lowest. There's no way that there's going to be anything lower than the chainsaw. It's just so stupid.
Right
Cattle
above the
prod's pretty
chainsaw.
dumb. Right above the chainsaw.
Yeah.
All right, we got another classic here. The ladder.
You can't not put it in GOAT, can you?
Yeah, I was going to say out of the obvious three weapons in wrestling, two of them I think are going downhill, and one of them has stayed the same. And I think that's the ladder. The ladder has stayed the same. It's always great. So many uses, so many situations you can put it in. It's makes a sound, you know. It's goat. I think it's better than the chair, personally.
Ooh. Okay.
Because of its multi-use awesomeness. And again, because the chair for a long time relied on headshots, and now we can't do that anymore.
Now,
Ladder didn't have that problem.
The chair is still multi-use, though.
That's true.
Sabu's triple jump moonsault. Jump off the chair to the rope, and then a moonsault.
Rest in peace. Yes.
They still could do them, but they just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would say it's above a chair. You're saying it's below the chair?
I mean, you can put it above the chair. We can revisit all the goats at the end.
Revisiting the goats. All right. Computer, laptop. Hasn't been used a whole lot, and obviously it's more of a modern thing.
It's only good if it explodes, it goes flying, and parts go flying.
Yeah. I'd put it right below the beer bottle.
Yep. I'm thinking that too. Either right above or right below. I'm good.
Leather straps and belts. So like regular belts and the leather strap that they use in the strap match. Kind of lump those two together because they're basically the same thing. That you whip people with them, you know, or you tie them up, or you know,
multi-use.
Makes a good multi-use. Yeah, makes a good sound.
Very good sound.
Makes a good welt.
Yes, it does. I'm thinking above kendo stick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I was not gonna go that high.
So watch MJF and Wardlow giving Cody his 10 lashes.
Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Any of those. I mean, they haven't done that lately, but that's the 10 lashes deal. The Rock on Cody.
Yeah.
Cody takes a lot of lashes, doesn't he?
He likes the leather strap whipping.
Cody's a bad boy. He gets the belt.
I think he's got a fetish.
He does. And we know what Brandy does to him.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, the sound, the residue, not residue, but the welt.
Yeah.
The welts, you know what it shows, the sound.
Oh man. I'm okay with putting it right above kendo stick. I think they're very, very close.
Belts, there's more of a reason to have a belt than there is a kendo stick.
That's very true.
So, someone coming down, like The Rock coming down, he's dressed in slacks and a shirt.
Whoosh.
He's wearing a belt because you wear a belt with slacks.
They do use it stupidly sometimes, I will say, though. Like when they wrap the belt around their fist. I'm like, what is that? That's so stupid.
I mean, if you're going to do that, then use the buckle as
the buckle. Yeah. Yeah. But I agree with you, though. For the most part, it's used properly. The next one is another sort of combination category. So it's like Legos, beads, marbles, jacks, yeah, that kind of thing. Not thumbtacks. We have a separate thing for that. It's many foreign small objects that are not thumbtacks is basically the gist.
Anything other than thumbtacks that you pour out of a bag.
Yeah, and I would say that they are a poor man's thumbtacks. They're the B version of thumbtacks, because you don't get the visual of them sticking in the back or bleeding or anything like that. So I like thumbtacks a lot better. It does still make me cringe when they like land on Lego or anything like that. So it's like, oh my god.
Have you ever stepped on Legos in the middle of the night?
It's so I have. That's why I cringe. I was like,
Yes.
holy fuck. But I would cringe a heck of a lot more if they were thumbtacks sticking into my skin.
Yeah.
You know?
But why do you have thumbtacks on your floor?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God I don't. Well, I think in order to place this, we need to find out where we would place thumbtacks. Because it's going to be below thumbtacks, right?
Yes, it'll be below thumbtacks.
Well, I think we know where thumbtacks is going to go.
Do we?
So,
I don't.
Oh, wow. Maybe we revisit this then.
Yeah, revisit this.
Wait until we get thumbtacks and then we can revisit this. Okay, I like that idea. Light tubes. Not really used in WWE or AEW. More of a indie thing. Personally, I think it's kind of stupid.
I think it's very stupid. Incredibly.
Yeah, it's very gimmicky. Yeah.
With the Mercury.
Yeah, Mercury. The shards are not gimmicked glass; they're real glass. I mean, we saw on that documentary. Gage was his name.
Oh,
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage. Yeah,
he fucking sliced an artery.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to put it in trash. I want to put it in disqualified for being so stupid of a thing to use in these matches. But
so, you said nothing could be worse than a chainsaw. Are you trying to revisit that? Or are you going to actually put it above the chainsaw?
I think we have to put it above the chainsaw because the chainsaw is literally a murder weapon, whereas the light tube's just stupid to use and dangerous. And I can't. There's a reason that WWE and AEW don't use them. You know, well, so if we have to put it somewhere.
I'm not giving AEW the benefit of the doubt. AEW.
You think they would use it at some point?
AEW is stupid enough to use it. WWE is smart enough to not use it.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I'd put it right above the chainsaw.
Yeah, right above the chainsaw.
Lead pipe. I think I included like a wrench in there as well. Pipe wrench. You know, a small metal object that you can, smoke someone with. It's a tough one, right? Because I've seen some great pipe shots before, but I don't know how gimmicked they are because they look fucking nasty.
You do.
Like, do you remember when Ric Flair smoked Vince in the head with one?
Yeah.
Holy I couldn't believe, like, I was like, I hope that was gimmicked somehow because that looked real as hell. And they never really talked about it. I've never seen an interview with Flair or Vince about that particular spot. So I don't know if it was gimmicked or not. If it's not gimmicked, I don't like it. Again, just because of how stupid it is to smoke someone in the head with a godforsaken pipe or wrench. And then if you gimmick it, then it kind of just falls into the same line as a baseball bat for me.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
So I'm not a big fan of the pipes and the wrenches. I think I have more moments that I can remember with a pipe than a baseball bat, but they're also kind of disturbing memories.
I mean, I have moments with pipes, but it's got nothing to do with wrestling.
Good call. Yeah, I'd put it right above the crowbar, I would say.
Okay, that works. Right below the gateway.
The gateway weapon.
Yeah, the gateway weapons.
All right, this one's an interesting one. The mist, poison mist. So, famously used by Tajiri and Asuka.
Great Muda.
Yeah. I think it's kind of similar to like the salt.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
He likes it.
When it's done right, it has a lasting effect.
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, the person comes out the next week with bandage over their eyes because they can't
Pretty
see.
rare.
It used to be like that.
Yeah, that was a great Muda thing more than a Tajiri and Asuka thing.
Did that in House of Black in AEW.
Oh, they used it. Okay.
Yes. And that's how they had turned Julia Hart to be in the House of Black. She was misted originally.
Mm.
And they did that for Sky Blue, and that's what eventually turned her heel.
I would personally put it right above the Animals. I don't think it's as good as the salt or powder visually. And sometimes it doesn't hit properly. Sometimes they do the mist and it doesn't really spray properly because it really relies on the deliverer. Although I guess technically the salt and powder does too. But I feel like the failure rate is lower when you're throwing it rather than spitting it. So that's where I would put it, is right above the Animal. I don't know where you're thinking.
It's a tough
one.
Right above the briefcase.
Sure. I can do that. All right. This one's another combination one. So we got Mr. Sacco, Cobra, and Mr. Iguana.
Goat, then. If we're including Iguana, that's a goat.
It's such a bad weapon, though. Really, come on. It's a sock.
Did you watch the match?
No, not yet.
You got to watch that 6-man tag match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's really annoying is that I watched their WWE's top 10 Worlds Collide moments, and the thumbnail is of Mr. Iguana, and then none of the 10 moments are Mr. Iguana.
Ugh.
I was like, what? I was like, why? What the hell? And some of the moments were stupid. I was like, okay. They're clearly excluding Mr. Iguana from this on purpose for some reason, and I'm not entirely certain why. So yeah, I know I haven't seen it yet, but like I've seen Mr. Sacco and I've seen the Cobra, and it's a gimmick. It's
Harley Cameron's puppet.
Yeah, or the Fiend's glove, kind of same kind of the same deal. They're all kind of the same thing, but they're just a sock. Let's just be real. They're just a puppet. It's a soft thing. How can it hurt? It's funny. I will give you that.
It is.
They are all very humorous. Cobra! How does he do it? He goes, duh, duh. Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Duh, duh, duh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Mr. Sacco's the original.
Now, Mr. Sacco's had barbed wire wrapped around him, too.
He has.
Just waiting for the iguana.
An iguana with barbed wire wrapped around it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a gimmick, right? There's only one other comedy thing on here, and that's the bowling ball.
I am not putting it in bed because of the iguana.
Oh God, you're killing me. I could go up to above the laptop.
Head.
a sock. It's a puppet. How is that dangerous in any way? It makes no sound.
All right, above the laptop.
Okay.
That's fine.
The ring bell. That's a unique one. We don't get that a whole lot anymore. We used to get it a lot because of, like, 3 stages of hell matches and no DQ matches and stuff like that. Rock would use it a heck of a lot back in the day. Put someone's head next to it and go ding, or they pick it up and ram someone's head into it. I'll tell you what, it was my favorite weapon in WWF No Mercy for the N64, because you could carry it and then like run towards your opponent, and you would do like a fucking diving leap into the air and smoke them in the face, and they would do like a backflip. It was awesome, and you would hear the ding. It's like ding.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. You have to hear the ding.
Yeah, if you don't hear the ding, it's stupid. Yeah, which is probably a 50% failure rate on the ding not happening. So if this was for WWF No Mercy, it would be a goat. But it's not. It's for real wrestling. So I would put it. Probably just above the belt. In mid.
All right. Fine.
You're okay with that?
It's fine. You still have me on putting the iguana in towards the bottom of mid.
Screwdriver. More of an AEW thing.
Unless you're talking about Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy.
They use a screwdriver?
Hey, put it in his gauge, in his ear, and twisted.
Oh, really? Wow. I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Yeah. Wow. That sounds nasty.
Yeah. You know how he's got the big gauge in his ears, right?
Yeah. Just like Willow Nightingale.
Yeah. Put it through that, and then turn the screwdriver about 3 or 4 times. So his earlobe just twisted.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Most of the time I see it, it's someone goes for a stab. Or they'll miss and it'll like spoke into the top of the turnbuckle.
Yeah, that's what they do in AEW usually.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's just not better than an iguana.
I don't like it, again, because it's such a lethal potential weapon, Although it's not as sharp as people seem to assume it is, It's like, oh, it pierced the top of the turnbuckle. Well, of course it did. It's a piece of steel that's really pointy. Like, it's going to pierce, it's going to pierce stuff. I don't know.
Bad.
Yeah, top of bad, I guess. It's at least it at least makes sense that it's in a wrestling event. It's like a toolbox item, which there'd be tons of toolboxes at a wrestling event.
Right.
Shillelagh. You could probably put like a club of any kind, in that category, but a shillelagh.
Very situational.
Yeah, I'd put it right next to the baton, the police baton. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's worse or better,
Put it above.
Yeah.
It's because it's Irish like me.
Oh, next one is skewers. A recent addition to AEW's arsenal. It's a fucking nasty. They bunch them up and go. The visual's gross. It's more of a. It's not really something. It doesn't beat you up. It just
It's more shock value.
Yeah.
But they actually hit him with it instead of,
It's true.
rather than like the screwdriver.
It's true.
So I feel like you kind of have to put it above the screwdriver.
You're putting it that low?
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I mean, what are you thinking? Are you thinking good? Or are you thinking mid?
I was thinking, because it's a great visual. It's a disturbing visual, but it's a great visual.
It's a disturbing.
It doesn't make any sense that it would be there. I don't think. It could be a catering thing, I guess.
Well, we didn't have enough meat to make kebabs, so we've got a bunch of extra skewers.
Perfect for human meat. I don't want to go too high with it. What about top of mid? Or where do you want to meet me? Can you meet me somewhere? What about
just under the ring bell?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Sledgehammer. Gotta be honest. As classic as it is, it's not really great. The few times that they gimmicked it, it looked pretty good. Like when Triple H broke it over Vince McMahon's back and it went flying.
Yeah. I mean, you're never going to.
That was cool.
Hit someone full force with it.
No. And when he started doing the thing where he holds the end of it, it just looked. It was like, why even bother at that point? It just looked kind of dumb,
Underneath the hockey stick.
Wow, that low, eh? Wow.
Yeah. Hey.
All right. All right, here it is. We've been waiting for it. Spiky or Spike. Spiked bat thing. Spiked 2x4 thing. It was so gross.
That was.
But it wasn't skewer gross. It was, what the fuck are you doing gross? It was like you could have pierced your spine and cut your spinal cord.
Paralyzed.
You could have paralyzed yourself by doing that move. Why did that happen?
Yes, the sickos loved it.
They did. That being said, I'm sure they looked at it and were like, like it's almost like laying on a bed of nails, But he didn't lay on it.
He landed on it.
He slammed. He slammed on it. So it's like he gambled with with the paralysis. I mean, this has to go right below light tube, right? If we put light tube there, it's got to be right next to it. It has.
Yeah.
It's such a unnecessary risk for wrestlers to put themselves through.
Yes. I agree.
Okay. We appreciate you wanting to go that far, but we don't need you to go that far. I think that's a good way of putting it as well. Oh, this next one I'm a big fan of. The staple gun. It's so fucking stupid. Lately. It really has. That they used it a lot in the Anarchy Arena. Yeah, so fucking. He stapled his tongue. Oh my god, I can't imagine how much that hurts.
Stapled the nuts.
In the chest, everywhere, back.
Stapled his forehead.
Oh. It's so funny and also gross and also just stupid. But it's not bowling ball stupid. It's like effective, Like it's like the visual's funny, the sound is funny,
like cookie sheet.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that high with it though. Would you? I'd go like top of good. Can we do
Yeah,
that?
right around the shards, glass shards.
Yeah, let's go above the glass shards.
Yeah, works for me.
Okay. All right, chain, steel chain. Makes good sound, but it also was pretty painful. I'm sure for the wrestlers that get whipped by it.
Oh yeah, gotta be.
I don't like it when they do the wrap around the fist and do the punch. I'm like,
yeah, kind of dumb.
It's kind of lame.
Although it makes
But
more sense to do that than it does a belt or a rope.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, you get punched with it, but I feel like it would still do damage to the person's hand, though. Newton's law and everything.
More like Darwin.
Or Murphy. Yeah, I don't know where I put this one. It's not great.
No.
It's fine. I guess that's the definition of mid. I'd say bottom of mid. I might like it better than the club, the baton, but
I can put it above laptop.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Steel steps. Also a classic. Multiple uses. Makes sense to use them because they're there all the time.
You can hit someone with them, throw someone into them, jump from them.
Jump from them, yeah.
Land on the corner of them on your back, like Drew McIntyre.
Hide stuff under them.
Wedge someone's leg in between them.
Yeah. You could throw them at people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of uses, and it makes a good sound when used properly. Dung,
I could put them in great.
Yeah, I'd say bottom of great. I still like the crutches better because you can whip them at high speed.
Sure.
Although the stairs do have, you were right though, the stairs do have a lot of uses.
A lot of uses.
Definitely more uses than the cookie sheet and the guitar. Should we put it above the guitar?
I mean, I'm good with that.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I don't think I would go above barbed wire though.
No.
Okay. The stop sign. It's pretty stupid.
But when you get the stop sign that's taped between two poster boards, so you think someone's holding up a sign, you hit them with the sign, tear away the sign, and it's a stop sign underneath. The old hidden stop sign trick.
The hidden stop sign.
Or the hidden road sign, whether it's a stop sign or whatever kind of sign. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. The way it's used in actual wrestling matches, though.
Like, why is there a stop sign? What intersection is missing its stop sign?
I remember it was in the Edge Foley match at WrestleMania, and I remember he like put it on Foley and then like drop kicked the sign into him, and it looked weird. And it's not like the sign is like super steel. It's pretty flimsy. It's not what a real stop sign is made of.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the stop sign. Where would we put it here? And also, yeah, like you said, why is it in the ring?
How many traffic accidents are you causing because there's a stop sign missing somewhere?
He just takes it from a fucking local street. The amount of missing stop signs when wrestling comes to town. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just as dumb as like the kitchen sink. It's like, why do you have a stop sign? I just trash.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Yeah. 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 I think that's good. All right, another classic. Tables. Regular tables. This might come as a shock to you, but I like the announcer table better than the regular table.
Why is that?
When it's just a single wooden table, when the men go through it, it just kind of looks like plywood breaking. It's not really impactful. Now, I do like it when they stack them and they go through them, but it feels like lately, whenever someone goes through a table, it feels very gingerly, you know?
What about
Like
the
I
new
remember.
Slim Jim tables?
Oh, fucking stupid. God, so that's so stupid. Oh my God. TKO is just fucking wrecking wrestling. It's just, let's slap a logo on everything. Yeah. That's a whole other problem.
I'm just wait until they come out with companies' logos on their trunks.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's happening. You know it. You know it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. I mean, Brock Lesnar already did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wore his UFC shorts, right? So he had a bunch of
Jimmy
stuff
John's.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, like back in the day when someone went through a table, it felt, I don't know, maybe it was because it was in like the technology was less good. Like we didn't have HD and we didn't have like super great sound. So like the sound of them going through the table was much more crunchy, and the visual wasn't quite as like it didn't give away the details as much. You know what I'm saying? The best table spot of all time, though, for me personally, was Bubba and Matt going through the 4 stacks of tables at WrestleMania 17. Just the sound and the visual of just like, bum, 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 bum. Oh,
I like that.
So good. But then, like, name me the best table spot, not the best non-announcer table spot from modern day WWE of the last like 5 years. Let's say, name me one. I can't name you any. None that are good. Like we just watched the Damian Priest and Damian Priest. Yeah, Damian Priest and Drew. Yeah, street fight at WrestleMania when there was a couple of table spots and none of them were like impactful. Like Damian was doing the top rope walk thing that Taker does, old school, and he got shoved into 2 tables on the outside, but it was kind of like he hit them and they kind of just gingerly bent down. Like they didn't snap.
Chelsea's
they don't explode. Oh, Chelsea. Yeah, she had a great one. That's true. Yeah, when she got like flung off that ring, she got like slingshotted into the fucking table. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Seems like they do have better ones that aren't announced tables in AEW.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't know if they don't gimmick the tables as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. They need the tables to snap in
like the
Slim Jim and the Slim Jim tables.
They really do though. It's so true. You need that snap sound, and they got to go through the table faster than they have been lately. Some of the guys just kind of like gingerly fall, like they look like they're falling in slow mo. I don't know. I mean, I still like tables. I don't think they're generally as good as announcer table breaks, in my opinion.
Well, why don't we put announcer up in GOAT?
And then put the table in amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Yeah. Like that?
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Yeah. The tennis racket. Mostly used by Jim Cornette, and I don't know if he ever actually hit anyone, did he?
Yeah, oh yeah. He did.
Yeah? I didn't watch back then, so I can't vouch. The only other time I've seen it is in a couple of hardcore matches back in like the 2000 area when they had all the terrible hardcore matches.
Now it's still mid.
You would put it in mid
or bad, but
I'm letting you place this one because I don't have enough experience with it.
Huh? Well,
I can't. I have no opinion really.
Well, it's not as high as an iguana, so it's at least towards bottom mid or worse.
Did anyone's head ever get put through the netting of the bracket? Like, that would be funny. And their head comes through it.
I don't think so. Or is
it just always a missed opportunity
there? He usually had the cover on.
Oh, terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more wind resistance when you do that.
Yeah. No, that's a dumb idea. All right. What are you thinking? Bottom of mid?
Yep, bottom mid.
Bottom of mid. All right, we're at thumbtacks. Wait, no, let's leave the thumbtacks and the Legos for last because we only got 3 left anyway. So let's go toolbox.
Probably the most famous. Recent.
Yeah, I was gonna say the probably the most famous one was when Punk hit Drew in the Hell in a Cell match and busted him wide open.
We also saw Toolbox in the Swerve and Hangman cage match.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. I do. I know that one. Yeah. It's decent. Makes a decent sound.
Real good sound.
Yeah. It's definitely not frequently used. It's a newer one, so it can't be super high on the list. But I think it's decent.
Yeah, decent isn't necessarily good though.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking mid. I'm thinking right below the belt. Or above the belt.
Yep.
There?
Yep.
Or there. There. Another classic. The trash can. And the trash can lid. Makes good sound.
Really good sound.
It crumples.
So it's safer? Question mark?
Can be.
Can be. Now,
I've definitely seen a few people get sliced open by the corner when it dents.
Unless you just chuck it at somebody like JBL did to Hornswoggle.
Oh yeah. I watched an interview with Hornswoggle and Chris Van Vliet when he was talking about that. He was like, "Yeah, he just without warning, he just chucked that thing at me." JBL's such an ass. It does sometimes, like, I feel like they don't always get the trash cans at the same gimmick place. Because sometimes you get it and they make a really good sound and they dent a little harder. And then other times you get them and they're like paper mache. You know? Yeah. They look like almost like a soft foil. Like, especially the lids. Sometimes the lids look terrible. But when they do look good and when they do crumple well, they're pretty good. They're pretty cool.
I think it's up there with the cookie sheet and guitar.
Yeah, I'd put it right below. Right below the cookie sheet. I'm thinking.
That works.
Yeah. All right. The umbrella.
Yeah.
Not frequently used. Probably the most. It's probably more of another comedy one, you know. The ones I always think of with the umbrella are what's the white boy's name that got fired?
Jack Gallagher.
Jack Gallagher, yeah, when you like stuck it between the guy's legs and then opened it up and spun it.
Yeah.
It's funny. Or you would like jump off the top rope and float down like Mary Poppins.
Yes.
I'm Mary Poppins, yo. Yeah, I mean, this got to go near the bowling ball, right?
Yeah. Below the bowling ball.
Bowling ball.
Yeah.
All right. We're at the legendary ones that we got to figure out here. So thumbtacks and Lego / beads / assorted items. So I would say thumbtacks are GOAT.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I mean, some of the most amazing moments in my brain in wrestling are using thumbtacks. And then I would put the Legos.
Ooh.
A lot lower, honestly. I mean, two of the most legendary for me moments in wrestling are thumbtack related. We got, obviously, Mankind Taker, Hell in a Cell. But honestly, my favorite thumbtack moment is Foley Orton at Backlash. When Orton took the thumbtacks instead of Foley. He went for the RKO and Foley pushed him into the tacks, and the look on his face.
See, the Undertaker Mankind wasn't Thumbtacks was probably third or fourth for me in that match. So you had the bump off the cell, you had the bump through the cell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not the most memorable part of that match.
No.
I'm just saying it's one of the most memorable moments with Thumbtacks. Edge and Foley at WrestleMania. Edge took them as well. There's been a couple of good AEW Thumbtack moments. Jericho taking him was pretty good too. Definitely my favorite though is Orton taking him. Just that look on his face, man. Just the shock of a lifetime. It was like lightning went through his whole body, and he's like, "Oh, so good." So yeah, I'd put him in GOAT.
It would have to be bottom GOAT for me.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
All right.
Okay, what about the Legos?
See, they're kind of situational, kind of based on where the event is at. If it's in Las Vegas, it's going to be poker chips. If it's in
or dice,
yeah.
The beads with CM Punk and Drew.
Yeah.
I still think they're good though.
Bottom good.
Wow, bottom of good.
Yep, bottom good.
I'd put them higher than that.
Okay.
You can't, how high? I was thinking like
around the cast.
Yeah, I'm thinking around the cast. Yeah, okay. Probably. I like them better than the cast. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's look at the list. Do we want to change anything?
We got more in GOAT than we do in Amazing. Move barbed wire up to Amazing. Bottom Amazing.
Oops.
There we go. Got a nice little bell curve. I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with all that. That's good. We might get some heat for not putting regular tables in the GOAT category, but let's be real. Announcer's table just explodes better than a regular table.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your more memorable ones were in the announcer table.
Yeah, I would say so.
Paul Heyman getting power bombed out of the bloodline.
Yeah, that
through
was
the announce table.
Yeah. I liked when Punk got slingshotted into the front of the table and went through it. I think it was Samoa Joe did that to him in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, that was sick. I was just like, he's gone. He's under the table now. That's so good. Yeah. A lot of good moments on ladders into the announcer's tables.
Yep.
Announcer tables are great. They're great. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is our every wrestling weapon ranked list. Where does your favorites lie? Tell us in the comments. Or join us on the Co-op Club Discord community server. If you want to follow me on the socials, I am at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
And I am at Cole2K on the BlueSky and the X.
If you want to email us, you can do so at co.op.podcasts@gmail.com. Don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. Cole, do you have an outro for us?
I do.
Oh, he's got one.
How easy that you ask. That's the bell. The chair's bent. The table's broken. And we're out of here. Until next time, keep it hardcore and never leave home without a kendo stick. This has been Wrestling Renaissance, where the steel is always real.